Hello traders, how are you? Vladimir here from Home Trader Club. Welcome to the weekly Forex forecast. In today's video, we will be talking about four very interesting opportunities. That would be the pound dollar, pound yen, gold, and New Zealand dollar. Before we start, I would like to take the opportunity and to say big thanks to 8K Broker for continuously supporting myself, my channel, and our community. To enjoy all the offers we have with 8K Brokers, including the access to the Home Trader Club, including the private mentoring sessions, the access to the trading systems, and the trading tools we have in the marketplace, please follow the link below this video in the description. First pair I want to talk about is the pound dollar. So follow up on the plan on the analysis we've had in the last week, where we were talking about buy the dips, and we mentioned several very important levels, including the previously broken resistances that now act as support. So this plan still remains on. However, there is one thing we need to pay attention to, actually two things. First thing is that this week, the Federal Reserve will be basically voting for the interest rates. The way it looks right now with the last data we saw on the current week from the CPI in the US and the PPI, it doesn't look too good in terms of the Fed's ability to actually start talking about the rate cut. So March is very likely out of the equation. The rumors are now talking about June, which with also very big doubts at the moment. So the market is very likely to continue be somewhere in the blurred zone for at least until the Federal Reserve announcement and policy that they will, of course, present. But there are a couple of technical things that we need to pay attention to. So while for the long term, the plan remains that the pound dollar should complete this cycle, if you remember several weeks ago, we were talking about one of the possible scenarios is that the pound dollar will complete weekly ABCD first or some sort of a range before moving all the way to the upside. Now, this possibility or this scenario is back on the table, because if we go to the daily chart, we can see the daily chart this very week completed a divergence, something that we didn't do on the last week. This week, the current pullback actually did it. But right now, as you can see, the pound stops right in from one side, classical buy opportunity, exactly as we wanted to follow on the last week by the dips. But on the other side, it completes a bearish divergence, which also could look like a preparation for the sell. So here are the two trading plans I have for the coming week, and please note they will become relevant after Wednesday, where the rates will be published and the Federal Reserve will give their view on what's coming next. The way I see that for the buys, currently the pound dollar is completing 3 higher highs, higher lows on the 4-hour chart with ABCD corrective structure. Theoretically speaking, this is absolutely ideal for further buys, exactly as we wanted to see the last week. But again, last week the bearish divergence did not complete. So for that, what we will want the pound dollar to climb above this ABCD and start making sequence of higher highs, higher lows. If that happens, we can understand that buyers are trying to return the control and push the prices further upside. If this scenario actually happens and we start to see the breakout and the climb, then we can talk about the completion of the cycle. The second scenario of the weekly cycle, the second scenario is that the pound dollar actually goes and completes 3 lower highs, lower lows, below this key zone and the rising supportive line, and by that it would be together with the weekly possibility of the ABCD or a range correction and a daily bearish divergence. If the 4-hour chart completes this waving, that would be a green light that sell the rallies is back on the table all the way for the pound dollar to complete this ABCD. In that case, it would be very possibly the pound dollar would go to retest its key lows from the weekly chart. So these are the two scenarios and how I plan to trade them this week after the Federal Reserve and the rates in the US. Let me know, what would you expect from the pound dollar? Some serious bearish move, or it was like just a little pullback this week before it will explode and continue all the way up? Share your views in the comment section below this video. Before we continue, I would like to ask your support and your help. If you find value in this video and you appreciate the opportunities, please hit the like button. Feel free to share this video with anyone who you believe can benefit actually watching that. If you are new to our channel, please consider to subscribe with the subscribe button below this video. Thank you very much in advance for your help. Few words in the comment section would be a great help with all the way that the YouTube algorithm works. So once again, thank you for your help. Let's continue. The next one is the pound yen, which create two amazing opportunities that I plan to follow this week. So we did trade the pound yen recently in Home Trader Club with the sell as soon as we got the break below this key zone here, and we got the first target zone we've had been reached. The question now about the pound yen, what is the next setup this one is going to make? So take a look how that actually looks like. What I want to show you here, first of all, you can see that's market trend snapshot. That's one of the features we have in Home Trader Club. But take a look on the pound yen here. 1 month is around the 0%. Last 24 hours, less than 0.5%. Last 7 days on the negative side as well. This usually after major trend, because take a look how the trend looks like, yeah? After major bullish trend, what we can see that the numbers of the price change shrink. It was a clear uptrend. The numbers shrink and starts to present the negative side. So if we take a look on the daily chart, before that, we went back to the weekly chart. So numbers, take a look how they fit in the technical. In this cycle, we can see that the pound yen actually make bearish divergence. So while the market was making higher highs, indicator makes lower highs. Classical bearish divergence condition. And if we go to the daily chart for the verification, we can see that on a daily chart, we did have these three waves with this divergence also coming in play. So there are two scenarios that usually happen from here. Scenario number one, we get the first attempt, final rally, and a big significant turnaround. Or in other words, second high for the divergence under a different angle. This scenario actually could theoretically happen, and if that is the case, what we will want on the pound yen on the 4-hour chart is completing the final wave upside, so the daily is able to complete the divergence, 4-hour makes its own waves and divergence, and from there look for major sell. And the more realistic, I would say, scenario is a bearish continuation. So the first wave down from the daily chart already completed 3 bearish waves, 3 lower highs, lower lows. Right now, it is attempting to make some sort of ABCD or a ranging correction. So break below this structure and the most recent lows could open the doors for further significant continuation to the downside. And these are the exact two trading plans I have for the coming week. How to re-enter the sell. As I showed you before, we already had one shot, one sell on the pound yen in Home Trader Club, deliver the initial target zone. Now it's time to be preparing for the next bearish portion. And the way I see that, it has two scenarios, and these two scenarios are what I plan to follow to trade myself. Let me know, how do you see the pound yen? Bearish, bullish, up to where or down to where? Share your thoughts in the comment section below this video. The next one I want to cover will be gold. And why do I like gold so much? So from one side, technically speaking, gold has a potential bearish divergence on a weekly chart. Potential because the current high did not form a peak. We don't have a high completed on the chart and not on the MACD. So this is only potential bearish divergence, right? And we don't have here the price creating any structure that hints already a trend change. On the daily chart, what we did have here is sort of extreme divergence, which means price that reached with a new peak on the MACD and RSI above the 80 zone, which means very possibly short-term correction, but not for the long-term turnaround just yet. And here comes the fundamental thing, the inflation. Gold is one of the assets that investors run to or buy full power when there is some sort of uncertainty. For example, the inflation with the current levels and the pressure the Fed still has, and if the Fed says that, you know, the rates are here to stay as long as needed and so on and so on, the investors might get their disappointment and run back to the gold. And that's one of the expectations I would actually have. So my plan on the gold for longer term is buy the dip. So I do think that on a short term, that's a great possibility that this will complete its second leg down, very possibly back to this inner zone and the rising supportive line we have here. Then from there, which also has some inner zone here, as you can see, before the explosion. So from there, very possibly we should be start looking for further buys on the gold. So for me, the plan on the longer term is buy these dips, while on the shorter term, I do believe and expect the gold could actually make this short-term bearish wave. What would you expect from gold? Still all-time highs, or the all-time high was created and now it's time to crash to the downside? Let me know in the comment section below this video. And the final one I want to cover would be the New Zealand dollar. I also want to remind you that last week, I uploaded a very important video about the price action strategy on a multi-time frame scan. You can watch that directly on the YouTube channel, or right now in the top corner of this video, you would find the link. The example I presented would be on Ripple, but you will see the multi-time frame usage of sequences of highs and lows, price action-wise, with the zone of demand supply, how it all comes to action. So watch that on the YouTube channel. And now let's take a look on the New Zealand dollar. So what do we have on New Zealand dollar? Pure read of the sequence of highs and lows teaches us that the bearish trend was and still remains on the weekly chart. We have sequence of lower highs, sequence of lower lows, and nothing really changed. So the bearish trend was and remains on. The way that the daily chart acts hints that very, very possibly we should see the New Zealand dollar completing at least the second leg of the cycle. The way that the current cycle on the daily chart develops is 3 waves down with corrective move to the upside. As simple as that. And from there, we have this sort of ranging condition So if New Zealand dollar managed to break it down, sell these rallies on the short term could be a classical plan. So for that, let's mark the trend line with our virtual pen. We go down to the 4-hour chart, and on the 4-hour chart you would see that here we might actually go and complete the trending structure. We have lower highs, so what we want is basically another push down, right? And if it completes the break of this daily range and the daily low with 4-hour chart making the waves, sell the rallies becomes the instant plan with the expectation of the daily chart to go and complete its move down to where very possibly somewhere to this zone, as we have some key lows of demand here and huge volume profile based zone here from the daily and the weekly time frames. So if it managed to break this zone down on 4-hour chart, making the structure, sell their rallies becomes my plan on New Zealand dollar. I like this one, and I think it's a very interesting pair which could deliver amazing movement. What would you think about the New Zealand dollar? Let me know in the comment section. So that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you very much for your time watching it once again. I hope you find value in it. If you do, please don't forget the like button and to subscribe to our channel. If you are new to this channel and our community, feel free to share this video. And I want to invite you to our trading family, the Home Trader Club, where you will get your access to the trading courses, the complete trading courses, comprehensive media zone, real-time trading education, real-time trading opportunities, community, so much more. Join our family with the link below this video in the description, or with the offers we have with 8K brokers, where you can find in the link below this video in the description as well. Thank you for your time. Best to you and yours. I'll see you soon with more good trading. Bye for now.